Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Walt here from Down the Block Sports, and today I'm going to give some love to the most underappreciated team in the National League. Obviously, when you look at the National League, it's pretty obvious why teams get overlooked. The Dodgers acquire Trevor Bauer. The San Diego Padres acquire Blake Snell and Yu Darvish while extending one of the best young players in Major League Baseball. The Cardinals at the end of the offseason acquire Nolan Arenado. The Mets start acting like a New York big market spending team, and the Braves add big game Charlie Moore. And a lot of people look at the National League like, well, there's our 5 teams. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you a team that you cannot forget about in the National League. And that team is the Milwaukee Brewers. Yes, those Milwaukee Brewers, the team that always seems to outperform their numbers really outside of last year, even though they ended up finding a way to sneak into the playoffs. But today what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you why you can't sleep on the Milwaukee Brewers in 2021. At the top of the list, it's pretty obvious why you can't sleep on them because guess what? Christian Yelich is back. Now, he did play last year, but in 2019, he fouled the ball off his leg, was out for the rest of the season, came back in 2020, didn't perform to his best. But if Christian Yelich plays like Christian Yelich, the Brewers have an extremely legitimate chance to make the playoffs. So let me give you a breakdown of what Yelich has played like in 2018 and 2019, 2 of the years before, of course, what happened in 2020. In 2018, Christian Yelich hit .326, .598 slugging, 1,000 OPS, while hitting 36 home runs and 110 RBIs. This is one of the best players in baseball. Okay, 2019. .329 with a .671 slugging, 1,100 OPS, with 44 home runs and 97 RBIs. When people talk about the National League, why does no one talk about the fact that Christian Yelich is coming back for the Brewers? If Christian Yelich is healthy, this team has the chance to win the division. Now, obviously, the division favorites right now are the Cardinals. They have a top-level arm like Jack Flaherty. They have 2 stars on the corners in Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, a deeper lineup, so Paul Goldschmidt's not going to go up there with 0 lineup protection. Now he has him. But I think this Brewers team has a chance to be unbelievable. Let's move on from Christian Yelich. Everyone knows that Christian Yelich is coming back. He has the chance to be legitimate. If he's legit, they're going to be really good. But let's look at the rest of the Brewers team real quick. One thing the Brewers wanted to get accomplished this offseason was improving their defense. They added 2 Gold Glove free agents. First, Kolten Wong, the second baseman, won the Gold Glove last year for the St. Louis Cardinals. He's a player that's going to come in, secure the middle of the field defensively, and he's hit or miss offensively. He's not a terrible offensive player, but his value comes more on the defensive side. Looking at center field right now, the Milwaukee Brewers added Jackie Bradley Jr. from the Boston Red Sox. Again, another Gold Glove caliber center fielder on a yearly basis. They secured the middle of their infield. They secured center field. They're moving Lorenzo Cain to the corner, who's another Gold Glover, and have one of the best outfields in Major League Baseball. Okay, let's continue. The Milwaukee Brewers have one of the best bullpens in Major League Baseball. Josh Hader is going to be a closer this year. He's someone who's pitched multiple innings in the past. This year, it's expected that he is going to have a traditional closer role, only pitching in the 9th inning. Well, who's going to come in before him? Devin Williams was the best relief pitcher in Major League Baseball last year. He's pitching the 8th. The Brewers have the chance to shorten the game before the season even starts. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying right now. Well, Walt, okay, the lineup's decent. Could use some depth, but it's not terrible if Yelich is healthy. Okay, Walt, they have a bullpen. Okay, not bad. They have those 2 guys at the end of the bullpen. They'll find a way to find some guy to come up and be productive. They'll make a trade that everyone thinks is, why are they doing it? That ends up being a Drew Pomeranz, who ends up being one of the better relievers in the league in that season. But when you look at them, their real main concern is the depth in the starting rotation, which I will agree with you with. Outside of Woodruff and Burns, there is a ton of question marks. But Craig Counsell is one of the most creative managers when it comes to managing his rotation. Depth is a concern, yes, but they have arms, they have creativity. They're going to find a way to pitch. Now, one main reason I love the Milwaukee Brewers heading into 2021 is the fact that This is one of the best teams in September in the National League. They know how to get hot at the right time. In 2018 and 2019, the Milwaukee Brewers finished 20-7 in the month of September. Now, when you look at the state of the National League Central right now, like I mentioned before, the Cardinals are the favorites, as they should be. When you look at the rest of the division, I think the Brewers have an absolute leg up on the rest of them. The Chicago Cubs are talented, yes, but they're in a horrible position for the contract situations for their team. Jed Hoyer made it very clear that he's looking to turn this team into a new era while he still has that previous World Series champion era majority on the roster. But if you're a general manager in Major League Baseball and you know a player's not coming back, there's a good chance you could move him. If the Cubs don't have a great start to the season, which who knows, they traded Yu Darvish away. I think their bullpen is terrible. There's a good chance that the Cubs could go into the deadline looking to trim the roster. Okay, let's go to Cincinnati, another team that has everything on paper. They lost Trevor Bauer. They decided to non-tender Archie Bradley, which makes you question why they even made the trade last year. Then Sonny Gray's dealing with injuries. And they were a team that never put it all together at the right time. I'm not buying into 162 games of the Reds right now. Can they improve offensively? Yes, they can. But I'm not buying their manager. I'm not buying their bullpen. And they got a couple things they need to figure out. The Pittsburgh Pirates are probably the worst team in baseball. I don't think anyone in that team's worried about them. So when I look at the state of the National League right now, I think it's pretty obvious who's at the top. The Dodgers, elite, added Bauer. The Padres, elite, added 2 top-level starters, extended their young player, have depth all over the roster. The Braves nearly went to the World Series last year, added a big-game pitcher. Mike Soroka's coming back, so is Marcell Ozuna. They got themselves a squad down there. The Mets' schedule is brutal, but they have talent. Cardinals added Nolan Arenado in a much easier division. They're going to be pretty good. But when you look at this Brewers team that has one of the most underappreciated managers in Major League Baseball, one of the best players in Major League Baseball coming in after a full healthy offseason, moving Keston Hiura to first base, who has a hell of a bat, securing the middle of the defense in the middle with Kolten Wong, and Jackie Bradley Jr. while moving another Gold Glove candidate to the corner in Lorenzo Cain, and the ability to go 20-7 in the month of September, back-to-back years in 2018 and 2019. Obviously, last year things were a lot different in regards to how things are set up. I don't think you can fully evaluate this team, even though they still found a way to make it to the playoffs. They got killed. It was expanded. It's the only reason they made it. But when I'm looking at the 2021 Major League Baseball season, I think it's insulting that this team doesn't get as much love as they should. Because this division really isn't that good. This division has the chance to possibly be worse outside of the Cardinals into the month of September when they play their best. Have fun against the Brewers at the end of the game. Because Williams Hader is the best back of the bullpen in Major League Baseball. And when you need to find a way to fill innings, Craig Counsell knows how to do it. So all the talk in the National League goes to those 5 specific teams. I get it. But when you're looking at the 2021 season, do not sleep on the Milwaukee Brewers. Because they have a very legitimate chance to win this division, a very legitimate chance to steal a wild card spot outside of one of the 2 teams in California. I think it's safe to say that you think the Dodgers are going to go 1, Padres 2. So a lot that can happen. But this Brewers team's not going to sell at the deadline. I think the Cubs have a chance to. I'd be shocked after trading away Yu Darvish that this team feels the need to buy for a team that's not going to be together after 2021. The Brewers are going to buy. They're going to get a relief pitcher you've never heard of. There's going to be someone to come up with their farm system and be productive because they do it every single year. I love the Milwaukee Brewers heading into 2021. Their pitching depth, yes, is a little bit of a concern. It seems like that's a concern almost every single year, but Craig Counsell knows how to make it work. I'm telling you this right now for all of you listening to me on Down the Block Sports. Do not sleep on the Milwaukee Brewers. they're going to be one of the more productive teams in Major League Baseball. And if they get hot in September like they've done pretty much every year except for last year, this team's got a real chance to go to the playoffs, even though only 5 teams are going in the National League. Plus, when you look at their schedule, their cross-conference games are against the American League Central. The White Sox and the Twins obviously are filthy, but there's some winnable games there. I mean, the Indians have great pitching but can't hit. The Royals are an up-and-coming team, but I still think they're a little young. And the Tigers, again, they have good pitching, but I don't think anyone in Major League Baseball is afraid of their offense. The Brewers have a schedule where they can win a lot of games because their division is not great. Their cross-league games, obviously you can't count out the toe at the top, but when you look at the Mets' schedule right now, they have to play Atlanta, Philly, Washington, who are 3 very competitive teams. You can't sleep on the Miami Marlins. Plus, when you go into the American League East, the Yankees are very good. The Rays, you can't forget about, even though a lot of people, including myself, like to make fun of them. Toronto has one of the deepest lineups in the league. Hyun-Jin Ryu is a very quality top-level starter. And the Boston Red Sox may be a roughly 80-win team this year, but if you face them on the wrong weekend, they're going to hit a ton of home runs. So I'm telling you this right now. Don't be surprised if at the end of the season, Milwaukee either wins their division or steals that second spot in the wild card. Do not sleep on the Milwaukee Brewers. That's me for this episode of my breakdown of the most underappreciated team in Major League Baseball. Who do you think is underappreciated, has a chance to make the playoffs in 2021? Feel free to comment that below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Down the Block Sports. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Heck, go Brewers, go Sox. I can't wait for the Major League Baseball season this year. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you